Hey guys, it's Brittany here, and I have got a great treat for you today, and I don't just mean Halloween candy. Today I'm going to be talking about how to enjoy Halloween candy and stay on track with your intuitive weight loss goals. Now, I did one of these videos last year around Halloween, and it was such a great success. And so many of you gave feedback on how it helped you change your life. One lady said that it had been 15 years since she had allowed herself to enjoy a piece of Halloween candy on Halloween with her family. Usually she stayed back at the back of the house while everyone else enjoyed the candy, and so she was really excited to enjoy that and stay on track with her goals. Now, I wanted to dispel the myth that you can actually lose weight while still enjoying sugar and carbs, but you have to know how to eat in the right way, how your body was actually designed to lose weight. So if this is your first time watching me, just to recap, I've lost over 70 pounds, and how I got to be 70 pounds overweight, here's what I was doing that got me to my heaviest. I cut out sugar. I was doing 3.5 miles on the treadmill every day. I was eating only organic produce and grass-fed meats and ate out very, very little. And I never ate past 7 p.m. Oh, and I had a green smoothie every day. Like, I was really trying to do everything that people were telling me to do. And I actually gained weight and got to my heaviest weight. And then one day I finally learned how my body was designed to lose weight. And I realized I hadn't been listening to my body at all. I was listening to everybody else tell me what to do. And once I learned that my body already knew how to lose weight naturally through its innate weight management system, which is your natural physiological cues of hunger and polite fullness. And it took me several months to really fine-tune how my body was designed to lose weight and how to listen to these internal cues. And you know what? It didn't matter what I ate. And it doesn't matter what my clients are eating, we've discovered. And it's all about whether you're really honoring and listening to your body with exactness. So if you want more information on that, you can get my hunger and fullness scale at brittnylake.com under the resources page, or grab my intuitive weight loss ebook that really breaks this down for you. A beginner's guide to becoming a naturally thin eater. So this is how you can enjoy candy like a normal person on Halloween and enjoy your family time. So I'm going to share some tips though first. So take your bag of Halloween candy, and I want you to pick out what you know is your favorites. And if you don't know, just pick one of everything, okay? So take your bag, and before the kids get to it, pick out what you want. What's your favorite candy? Let me know in the comments below. So mine would be the Almond Joys, Take Fives, and Reese's, okay? So I might take 2 of each of these, and I'll explain why in a second. Okay, so I've got those set aside from these candies. Now, that is what I'm going to be enjoying later. This I'm going to set aside for my kids and for the neighbor kids to come and enjoy. Now, we're not going to dive into these candies just yet, okay? We have to wait. We have to wait until our body's actually hungry. And how do you know if your body's actually hungry? This is actually really confusing for people. People often think hunger is when they simply are in the mood to eat, or food sounds good to them, or their energy is low. And actually, none of those are true hunger signals. If you go to my hunger and fullness scale at brittnylake.com, you'll see that true hunger is actually when your stomach feels empty, hollow. And there's some hydrochloric acid building up in the stomach, which is kind of uncomfortable. You'll feel a slight like gnawing, twist, or growl sensation in the stomach area. Now, you want to wait for your body to empty out and get hungry before you eat. This is how naturally thin people eat. They don't care about food. They don't think about it until they're actually hungry. And when they're hungry, they eat what sounds most satisfying to them. Sometimes that's going to be a little candy bar. Sometimes that's going to be a kale salad. But they don't care about any other food rules. They just listen to their body. And in my beginner's guide to becoming a naturally thin eater, this is what I help break down for you. But I'm going to give you some free tips here. So you've got your favorites set aside. You're gonna put them over here and you're gonna wait until your body reaches a level 3 hunger on this scale, which is where you feel empty and there's a bit of an uncomfortable sensation, like a gnawing or a growl. There's a little ache in the belly. That's when your body is telling you it's hungry. It's empty and there's hydrochloric acid now building up. Your body's giving you the green light. Hey, I need more fuel for the day, for energy. So I need you to feed me something. That's what our stomach's telling us. Now, we are going to wait to eat these until that point, okay? Now, say we're finally at a level 3 hunger. What I want you to do next is take a couple deep breaths and decide which one you're gonna eat. Just decide. Say I got a take 5, and this take 5 is totally hitting the spot, and I am savoring every bite of it. That's what I want you to do. I want you to actually look at it. Don't watch TV, don't be on your phone. Look at your food, smell it, taste it. I'm not hungry, but I'm gonna open this now. Like, do you ever actually stop to watch what you're eating, to look at it, to smell it? That peanut butter and caramel pretzel is amazing. Like, really, look at your food, take a bite, chew it, savor it. Really engage all of your senses in this process, because if you don't, you're gonna end up overeating because you didn't get satisfied, because you weren't paying attention. I'm not kidding. It's so simple. You got to do it. And you may notice a couple bites into it that you may decide that, you know what, that's enough. That's really all I wanted. And in which case you can put it back in the wrapper, put it in a little Ziploc bag, and put it away and finish it later when you're hungry again. And then you can finish off your meal eating something else. Okay? It doesn't have to be something where you have to leave for dessert after a meal when you're already full. Sometimes you just need to hit the craving a little bit, right? So that's another tip there. Or maybe you're deciding it's so good and you just want to eat your meal off a candy, which means you probably have room for 1 or 2 of these more, right? But what I want you to do is really pay attention to how you're feeling. That's the most important part. Now, you're an adult, okay? If you want to eat candy for dinner, that's on you. You can totally do that. And you should do that guilt-free. Get rid of all your diet rules and just let your body tell you when it's had enough. Now, a great trick that helps me is if I ask myself, will this next bite make me feel better or worse? There's actually a certain point in your meal where your body will tell you whether it's had enough sugar. And even 1 bite over, you'll feel it. You'll feel that shift. Now, becoming a naturally thin eater is not something that's going to happen overnight. This takes a lot of practice, but it's a lifestyle change, and you really owe it to yourself and your body to learn this, because your body really wants to shine for you and shed the extra weight, but you keep feeding it when it wants to eat its fat reserves instead, and you're feeding it when it's not ready for food. So start paying attention to your stomach and start listening to your body when you've had enough. But if you go into this meal on Halloween and you've got all this guilt and you come to it with so much emotion and you feel out of control, then you know that there's a lot of restriction happening. You need to tell yourself, like, this candy is always available to you. You know, it's always going to be available. And in fact, you're going to set aside some to prove to yourself that this candy is mine and no one's going to take it from me. And if I want more later when I'm hungry again, I can have more. But the more you put guilt and shame and restriction and telling yourself you can't have something, the more you're going to want it. So we really need to cut that out right now and decide now that if I really wanted an Almond Joy, if that's really what my body was craving, I could go and get one at the Maverick across the street any day of the week, 24/7, anytime. And I get to decide that if I'm hungry and this sounds most satisfying to me. And the more you allow yourself full permission to eat what you want, whatever you want, when you are at a level 3 hunger, then you'll start to really tune in to decide what foods make you feel good and what foods don't. And that'll be all coming from you. And not somebody else, some other expert out there telling you what to do. Your body is an amazing, beautiful machine. that totally knows what foods are going to be good for it and what foods aren't. And the more we start listening to everybody else instead of our body, the more confusing it's going to be, the more guilt and shame we're going to have, and the more likely we are to binge out on these foods. Restriction is scientifically proven to cause overeating. And so if you're getting a little anxious around this exercise, remind yourself that. And that's why we're going to set aside some for ourselves right now. We're going to put it in a little Ziploc bag and stick these in the freezer. If we decided we're done, or that's not really what we want right now, but we don't want to miss out on the candy, just to reassure to ourselves that we're safe, the food is always going to be there, we're not missing out, we're going to put it away. We're going to go stick it in the freezer. And we're going to take extra measures and wrap it in aluminum so nobody knows what it actually is. If you have kids in your house, they'll know, right? They just know. Okay. Check it out. We're going to stick it in a little Ziploc bag and put this in the back of your freezer. And when you are at a level 3 hunger and you could really go for some chocolate right now, go ahead and pull this out. Anytime you're at a level 3 hunger, you have the green light to eat, and you can consume. There's so much leeway in what you can consume, but it's very difficult to lose weight if you are not eating. If you are let me back up. If you are eating outside the boundaries of hunger and fullness, you're going to be putting your body into fat storage mode. But if you eat only when your body is calling for food, there's a lot of leeway with what you can eat. But you also want to make sure that you're stopping at just politely full. Now, if you've decided that you've had enough, and that's great, put this aside and save it for a later date when you are at a level 3 again. But remember, get rid of all the shame and guilt around the food. Give yourself full permission. Get rid of all those diet rules. Set it aside so that way you don't get anxious watching all the kids and neighborhood kids come and grab all the good stuff. Get that out right now. Set it aside so that way you have it available for you when you are ready. And I promise you, you will not gain weight when you eat candy and you're listening to your body and you're eating it safely within the boundaries of hunger level 3 and polite fullness. And if you really want more information on that, you want to grab my Intuitive Weight Loss ebook, A Beginner's Guide to Becoming a Naturally Thin Eater. This will really break it down for you and give you so many more tips on getting started listening to your body. So that way you don't have to listen to anybody else tell you when and what to eat, because you know what? Life is too short to miss out on some Halloween candy with your family on Halloween. So give it a try and let me know how it goes in the comments. Remember, this is a practice. You might not be perfect at it, but the more you practice, the more you can become a naturally thin eater and eat normal foods and have a wonderful life full of quality without constantly worrying if you're obeying somebody else's rules or not. You can do this. So happy Halloween, you guys, and have a great day. Bye.